Welcome back guys to a tutorial on C++ programming language, and in the previous tutorial we see about the operators, and we finished the using of operators, and today we're going to talk about the loops and the different type of loops and how does the loop works. And while we talk about loops, we will also be covering up the increment operator or the decrement operators. Okay, so basically we are ready for understanding loops. So before understanding loops, let me tell you about the different type of loops. One is the while loop, another one is the for loop, and the last one is a do while loop. Well, the basic idea behind all this loop is similar, that they provide the looping work, and but these two implements as same, and their syntax is different but the implementation is same, and this works a very bit different than these two's. Okay, so let me just, before talking about any of the loop, there is one more loop that you might have heard of, that is the for each loop. So before talking about any of the loops, I just want to tell you about what is basically a loop. So basically a loop is something which does the work recursively. What does that mean? So let me just show you this picture, and it's basically easy to understand that this is the point where the loop starts. This dot you can see over here, it's basically where a loop starts. When the loop starts, the first thing that it sees, or it is faced, the first thing that it faces is a condition. What is a condition? We have already seen what is a condition. Condition is, we have seen that into the if and else statements. Condition is something of a relational or the logical operator which is either true or false. So condition is something that operator gives you true or false, and the loop works in a way that if the condition is true, okay, this condition, if it's true, then it do some coding over here, and it does the coding into the body of the while loop or any other loop. Actually, it does into the enters the body of this loop, and it's complete the code over here and goes this point, and it faces the condition again. Once the body of the loop ends, it faces the condition again, then again the condition changes. Okay, before facing this condition again, there is one more thing, that is the manipulation on the condition, right? Manipulation on the variable involved in the conditions. We will talk about that later, but you have to understand this is the condition happening over here, and if again the condition is true, then again the coding is done, then again it faces the condition. It will face this condition and it will continue to work on into the body of this loop again and again until and unless a false is created. A false statement creates, and the compiler gets out of this loop and ends the loop. So basically very easy to understand. The starting of the loop, it faces a condition. If the condition is true, it will go into the body, and it will, every time the body ends, it will check for a condition again, and it will keep on doing that until and unless a false is created, and once the false is created, it will get out of the loop. So that is about loops. Let me just tell you about how do we implement it. Okay, so why do we need loops is another question. When I say okay, sorry about this. When somebody tells me to print this thing 10 times, if I don't know about loops, what I do is I just press an enter and copy and paste this guy. Okay, this is 3, this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So this will print your hey people into the different lines. It says return. Okay, this is okay, hey people 10 times in a different line. This what is happens. Suppose if that same guy gives me a job of printing this 1,000 times, I sit in the night, and for that is the way my hand will start, my fingers will start paining. I don't want to pain my fingers. So what I do is I use loops. And what is loops? It's basically for example, we talked about this while loop. There was first thing is the while loop, and how do we do that? Let's just understand. I told you, write the word loop as it the name of the loop comes the first, and then comes the condition. You can see this parenthesis. This parenthesis is where the condition is put. Alright, and inside this curly braces is actually the body of this loop. Okay, so what does this happens? Let's just put this 10 times hey people onto the screen with using this loop. So what I do is, okay, I create integer value a1, okay, and what I do over here is I see out what do I see out? Hey people, again just as same, and end line every times. Now what I put into the condition is I have to print this 10 times. So just a basic understanding, I have to print it 10 times. So until and unless a is less than 10, you have to print this. Now you can see this in this condition, in this loop. First the value of integer is 1, okay, then it checks is 1 lesser than or equal to 10. Yes, it says it is less than, so the condition is true in the first time. Then it goes over here, okay, it prints the cout this thing hey people, that puts the line and the line after the people, okay. Then it says the body of the loop is ended. It goes again, checks the condition, it still asks the value of a is still 1, okay, then it checks again, then it prints again and again and again. You can see this, the value of a is not changing over here, so it will always be 1, and it will always, and 1 will always be less than 10. So this will print in what C++ programming language is infinite times. This is an infinite loop. We don't want to do that. So what we do is basically a constraint on a. This constraint on a is followed by this manipulation of a, right? Constraint is that a has to be less than 10. Initially it is less than 10, but if we increase the value of a every time we goes into the loop, let's just understand this, how this works. The value of a is 1 over here. It checks 1 is less than 10 or not. Yes, it is. It goes in and it prints this, and it comes over here. When this line ends, it comes over here and it says increase the value of a. What it means is a is equal to a plus 1. We talked about increment operator, so I can write this, sorry, I'm sloppy today, a plus plus, and this increases the value of a by 1. So the value of a gets 2 over here. The body of the loop ends, it goes to the condition checking, it checks 2 is okay. Is 2 less than 10? Yes, it is. Then it goes in again and it checks this, and again the value of a gets 3. Then again end of the loop, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. It checks whether 10 is less than or equal to 11. It says yes, 10 is equal to 10 is equal to 10, so it will print this again and increase the value of a to the 11. Now it checks is 11 less than or equal to 10. No, it's greater than. It's neither less than or not equal to, so it's greater than, and it prints this hello world. It gets the false condition, sorry. Once this get the false condition, it goes out of the loop, and after the loop it returns 0. So let me just build and run this, and you can see this. It prints 10 times a hey people. If I put 1 0 over here again, then what it does is print this hey people 100 times, okay. So that how easily loops work. So if that guy says print it 1000 times, I just need to add 1 0 over here and it will print hey people 1000 times. So that is the power of loops. So we will talk about these loops again into the next tutorial, but at this point just understand this, just keep working with this, and thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.